Hi guys, it's Jen, aka Metronome, aka now the Hobbit. Oh, I'm like, this is just a quick check-in video, by the way. I hobbled out into nature because last night I went to get up off of my bed and my foot fell asleep, which of course I had no feeling in my foot because it fell asleep. So I stood full weight and my foot bent backwards. So now I got a big bruise and it's sore. Apologies for all the noise. Seems to be a lot of aircraft today. Anyways, and I noticed a lot of trails in the sky too. So my guess is incoming CMEs. However, it is just before 2 p.m. Eastern here in Northeast Pennsylvania, in my neck of the matrix. So it usually doesn't, the trails don't start dissipating and turning into full cloud cover until between 3 and 5 p.m. So other than that, the nature out here is quite therapeutic, seeing as how I spent the last 2 weeks fighting the plague. I literally, I still don't even feel 100%, and it's been 2 weeks and much better than I was. I'm not in bed sleeping. That's one thing. I'm not feeling like death warmed over. Oh, more aircraft. What? And you know, I can vividly hear it. Now this is a car going by. Zoom. Nothing's visible though. Shocker. Anyways, like I was saying, I just wanted to check in because the last video I did was right in the middle of the plague. That's all I'm going to call it. No, I did not go get tested for COVID. No, I do not receive a flu vaccine anymore after the year 2017 when I had a flu vaccine and I got the flu. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not getting that anymore. I haven't since. And this is the first time I've been sick like this in years, literally. I don't know what it was, honestly, because I have no formal diagnosis. I just know what I went through, and I journaled my symptoms, and whatever it was, it felt like the flu, or pneumonia, or both. My dealings of COVID thus far have been more of the Morgellons disease, true silent pandemic, not the COVID SARS-Sophia that they claim is flu-like. No, that's not what I experienced in my documented journey here on YouTube with Morgellons disease. No. Nothing like what they say in the news. There is no cough and shortness of breath and loss of taste and smell. Oh, no. Morgellons is an abomination if I've ever seen one. And to all you guys out there who have experienced it or are experiencing it, God bless you and God love you. I've even told people I wouldn't wish Morgellons disease on my worst enemy. Not even Satan himself would I wish that abomination on. Well, maybe no. I have a hard time even watching my videos from a year ago, or like seeing myself and bald and sick, and then like going through everything at the same time, like being turned away by doctor after doctor, confronted by a dermatologist, and then a dermatologist agent, I should say. I kind of knew this video was going to go a little vent rant. Real talk, however, truth. This is what happened to me, and the thousands of people in support groups and Morgellons groups online that I haven't connected with all of them personally, but I mean, I'm seeing these circles, thousands of people suffering the same or similar symptoms, and then also being turned away from the medical community. I know how that feels because it happened to me. And then I was confronted by the agent slash dermatologist who took a step towards me as she was saying, "You don't have bugs," as things are literally falling out of my skin that everyone can see, landing on the carpet at my feet, and yeah. Or having an ER doctor ask me after I said, oh, because this was about the fourth or fifth doctor I'd seen, and the suffering I was going through, I didn't have any patience left. So when the doctor was in the triage room at the emergency room, and I'm begging him to just take a skin scraping sample, just take a sample, send it to the lab. I said literally to him, I'm not here trying to get an opiate prescription. I'm not here trying to get benzos or anything off of you. I'm asking you to take a skin scraping sample and send it to the lab. And one doctor claimed in the hospital now, in the entire hospital, floor after floor, department after department in the entire hospital, they did not have a magnifying glass or a microscope to look at anything. Oh yes, the emergency room doctor literally grabbed his own personal cell phone and put the camera on, and I had one of those things in my head that I purposely left there so they could see it, which is a form of suffering and disgusting horror as it is. But I can see it visually, and I wear bifocals normally, and I can see this thing in my skin. He's claiming, no, we don't have a microscope. Really? Okay, so then my patience just snapped. And I said, look, don't waste my time if you're going to sit here and tell me I'm delusional or that I'm suffering from delusional parasitosis. I'm not. And I told him I'm not hallucinating this clearly. So he gets his cell phone, I kid you not, and puts the camera up to my head. Oh yeah, I do see something, but yeah. I think it was the fourth. I could be mistaken. I saw 6 or 7 now, so I can't get them all straight anymore. And still no formal diagnosis to this day. Yeah, the fourth, I believe, visit to the emergency room, fourth doctor. It was a different doctor every time. He did offer me to go spend a couple of days in the psych ward. The only thing that kept me probably from jail that day is God. Losing every shred of dignity I had left. Fighting this Morgellons hours every day, hours of maintenance every day just to be able to sit in my own skin without wanting to rip it off or wanting to die. Being turned away, walking there, walking home. I went to the emergency room one time when these fibers were all coming out of my skin, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to go, as humiliating as it is, because now there's no denying it. And I believe this was the, oh, no, this was the time I was asked, and then they got a security guard to make me leave the emergency room. That was fun. At 2 o'clock in the morning. And I had a bag with me because when I walked to the hospital, I assumed clearly they would see everything and just admit me, at least until they did some testing overnight or got something back from a lab. So I packed a little overnight bag, thinking ahead, trying to be smart. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm told to leave because I was done. I had been prescribed 2 rounds of full body Elamite cream, which is what they give someone with scabies or, body mites or what, I don't know. Thank God, knock wood. I have never dealt with those things, and God willing, will never have to, because I hate parasites. All shapes, forms. I hate parasites. Bed bugs, fleas, ticks, lice, mosquitoes. Hate them. And in my opinion, I was just talking to someone on YouTube here. We've been sharing our Morgellons experience and then some research facts and things like that. And in my opinion, Morgellons is a combination of the true, silent, real COVID pandemic, some sort of parasitic something flu related, something Lyme related, something having to do with frequencies. Oh yes, Hertz frequencies. Demonic entities, demons, AI, alien intelligence, or artificial intelligence, however you want to look at it. Technology, nanotech. Plus it's related to Borrelia, plus related to nematodes, plus related to botflies, plus related to fungal gnats, plus related to mold mites. Borrelia burgdorferi something, spirochete, corkscrew shaped fibers. And that is why 50% of the medical community agrees it is a valid disease, and 50% says it is not, and that it is delusional. Oh great, somebody's driving by. I don't know know if this is private property or not, because like it's all woods right here. This is where I sometimes go see my apple tree that I've done videos, but this part is cut. And since I'm not a fan of ticks, I sat over here, but nobody's bothered me. It's just weird on that dirt road that I usually walk behind my house. There's not any traffic, so it's an old shut down campground, as a matter of fact. The dreams I have for that property. It's just sitting there with old electrical hookups and sewage hookups and everything. Like, and there's so many homeless people, I being one of them. So anyways, yeah, I knew today's videos were going to be Morgellons based, COVID based, and especially because when they started, meaning the rulers, owners, people in charge of this world and its corruption, and the propaganda that is spewed from it, mainstream media, lies, aka lies. Let's simplify it. Lies. Even the former POTUS referred to it as fake news. All mainstream media, all under one umbrella corporation. Doesn't matter if you're a fan of whatever acronym, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSN, I don't even know how many there are anymore. Fake news. Talking heads. But, you know, when this Delta variant came out, I knew it was go time, round number 2. And sure enough, I just spent the last 2 weeks in hell. Again. Literally. In the pit of the abyss. All the usuals were there, of course, however. You know, we have the angel of the pit of the abyss, Abaddon. We've got all the Satans. We've got the demons of lust. Dare I say their names? No, I will not. Freaking Lord of the Flies. Not even saying, ugh. Me and him are going to go toe-to-toe real quick, though. I digress. Now that I think about it, to any unawakened, oblivious human out there who knows nothing of anything that I'm speaking about, I probably do sound like a lunatic. I wonder what I would think of hearing myself if I was one of the, and see, I'm not a name caller. I don't say like sheeple and all that. I know people who do, and I still love them, and I do think it's kind of funny, but I'm not that person. So, the asleep, the unawakened, the unaware, the oblivious, the ignorant. And by ignorant, I don't mean stupid or lack of intelligence. I mean ignorant as in didn't know. Not a fault, a fact. That's a weird bug. He just came to say hi. It's pretty cool looking. Anyways, there's just so much, and it's all like at any given time there are the things going on in the world. Now, I mean, we're all here, as far as we know, on Earth in 2021. And over the last couple of years, yeah, things just aren't how they used to be anymore. A little bit of chaos out there. I think we all can agree, whether left or right or red or blue or Democrat, Republican, Trump lover, Trump hater, Biden lover, Biden hater, Cripper blood. Much love and respect to each and all of y'all. Me, I'm going to stay neutral. No party affiliation, no ties to any side, peace and love to everybody. All right, now that we got that said, we can all pretty much unanimously agree 2021, now October, nearing the end of 2021, some chaos in the world. People, uprisings, riots, protests all over the world. Plandemic. Astronomical, solar and lunar events, planetary events. Biochemical warfare, spiritual warfare, and that's why people are having a hard time believing we are at war. Boy, there's a lot of aircraft today. Anywho, see, the thing about biological, chemical, and spiritual warfare, you can't see it visibly with your eyes. So you know the old adage, out of sight, out of mind. I do believe that's the underlying MO to this. But for some of us, we can see. And we can see clearly. And some of us, too, have experienced these things firsthand, personally. Fun times. You know, avoiding death, persecution, and retaliation, being targeted, knowing that what you do, like, I don't know, let's say a hypothetical YouTube creator who spent the last 3 years or so sharing personal and researched truth, and more truth, i.e., exposing the corruption in this world. You know, knowing the backlash we're gonna take doing what we do. I've thought so many times about just quitting, just never saying another word, and to each his own, whatever happens, happens. Oh well, you know, it's not my, humanity is not my responsibility. There's a problem there, though. A, I'm me. B, I'm a Capricorn. That combination is like brutal honesty and integrity. So for me, it's death before dishonor. Literally. And I accepted that when I took this mission back in 2018, when I was called to start this channel. The last thing I ever thought I would be doing is sharing my horrific journey and sharing truth in a cancel culture world who, throughout history, I don't think this world is that much of a fan of the truth. I just don't. Because all the truthers that I've seen in history, throughout history, like let's start with Martin Luther King Jr. Murdered. JFK Jr. Murdered. Who was that other guy? Oh yeah, Jesus. Murdered. You know, the real truth tellers that got the attention of those aforementioned asleep ones and unaware ones and unawakened ones. Then you got modern times. Isaac Cappy. Well, that was deemed... Wait, was it him? I love how the headline reads, "Murder-suicide." What in the... What? My brain, I can't. It won't grasp that one, so maybe I'm slow. It's like a parade in the sky, I swear. Anyways, so knowing that in some way, shape, form, or fashion, we who share truth, expose corruption, tell the truth in a sea of lies, disinformation and misinformation, and lies and lies and lies and lies and lies and liars. Some of us knew ahead of time what we were up against and what the possibilities were and are. And we were not exaggerating. We knew, well, I'm not even going to say we, I can't speak for others. I have to catch myself sometimes. That's the autist in me. Diarrhea, vomit, mouth. Problems verbally communicating. So I try to choose my words wisely and carefully. And I did spend the majority of my life using words like everyone and no one. You know, being an extremist, I guess. So I will speak for myself when I say I knew. And I still know. And then I always am asked after, I don't know how you do it, from the people that have physically been in and out of my life in this time and have physically witnessed the things that I share on my channel and have documented in other ways. They always ask, why? Why do you do it? Like, so you're willing to risk your own life for what? Well, it's not for what, it's for whom. Because I meant it then, I mean it now, and I will always mean it when I say that I will happily and without hesitation die for and or kill for my children. People always like to test me in this life or push me to see if I'm going to change my stance on something. Well, haters, still not dead. Come close a few times, but still not dead. Still stand in integrity, flaws and all. I am the one who will give you the brutal honesty because it's the truth. Not package something up and make it all pretty and sugarcoat something so it's not offensive and it's exactly what somebody wants to hear. No, I'm not that person. Ask my sons. Yep, they can tell you. Been a lot of things in this life. More things that I'm not proud of than things that I am proud of. But the one thing I have never been and will never be is a liar. To me, it's a waste of time. Like, I've dealt with so many liars in my day. It's beyond me why someone would waste time conjuring up some fake story or having to, oh, did I tell them this? I wonder if I told this person that story or this one, that one. Now I have to go back and no one can ever keep it straight. So they always catch themselves with their flappers flapping away. Who has time for that? I don't. I could think of millions of better ways to spend my time than concocting some lie that I'm going to have to keep lying about. And that's what they do. Snowball. Lies only snowball. Someone tells a lie, then somehow, some way, you got to cover up that lie. Then telling that person this and that. And I ain't got time for all that. No. Here's what I'm doing with my time. Oh, here's just some research topics, fun topics to research. Horseshoe crabs and amoebocytes. Interesting stuff. U.S. patent number 6245531B1. HDC. There's my new research topic I've been looking into. Hyperdimensional computing. Oh, interesting. Now I find out that California is trying to, or planning on, or attempting to mandate COVID vaccinations for students. Yes, that is correct. Underage students, children. Meanwhile, Mr. Biden signs a temporary bill to fund the government to avoid a shutdown in the amount of, what was it, $1.2 trillion. Meanwhile, some of us, sick with the plague of God knows what, can't even get over-the-counter medication to alleviate some of the suffering because we're penniless and homeless. But the government is being funded so they don't shut down. And I'm going to continue this video in a live stream a little later on after I regroup. Because on a side note, personal note, while all this is going on in the world, and I, like I said, I have sons and grandchildren, I have been separated and ripped away from my kids over and over and over again, and still no justice. And as a mother, there is a wrath inside of me that cannot be quelled. My middle son received the vaccination. I'm really sick of hearing people's jab this, and I'm just some sensitivity because some of us have loved ones who, because they're 19 and scared, and for other reasons, got that shot. And boy, does it make me want to shoot something into somebody. And the best of all, the spiritual warfare, end times that we're in, it's like Big Papa said, if you don't know, now you know. Yeah. My eldest son is a Satanist. And no, not a child sacrificing, blood drinking Satanist like some of the leaders and rulers and owners of this current world. The me, myself, and I type of Satanism that's more about indulging oneself. We'll leave it at that. Now mix that in. And then missing the birth of my granddaughter because of Morgellons and other things like homelessness and being evicted during a pandemic last September. It's been a year. Wow. Time flies when you're trying not to die. Yet. Yeah, so having these things on my mind and on my heart, still trying my best to do what I can do to help somebody else if that's at all possible, or to prevent them from suffering in some of the ways I have, to, I don't know, try to do something, anything as a nobody, nothing, penniless, homeless, voiceless, faceless, nameless what in this world? Minority, that's what. If this is all I can do, then this is what I'm going to do until my dying breath. Because I ain't going out like that. Mm-mm. Ain't going out like that. When I'm gone, I want my sons to know that I did something. But anymore, I'm about ready to... No, I'm not even going to say that because it's not even entirely true. Just one of those things I want to say when I get angry, but think better of it. So yeah, 38 minutes in. Sorry for the vent and rant. This meant, well, no, I went in today knowing that I wanted to check in because of being away with the plague. But also I knew that I was going to be touching on some heavy topics today since I finally have the wherewithal. And now I'm bedbound again with a sprained foot. Can't win for losing. Am I a glutton for punishment? Or just a walking klutz? Me and my two left feet. So, I came out here because everybody's around at the house and making a lot of noise and doing yard work, and I'm nervous enough when I get on camera and... Oh, a little bumblebee's visiting me. Hi. Where'd he go? Please don't fly in my ear, Mr. Bumble. Well, that's good. The more bees and the more butterflies I see, the happier I am. So yeah, disclaimer and warning. The live stream that I'm going to do is going to be full of topics that are hard to talk about. Scary things. Things that are real. And things that are actually happening and going on now. For you guys out there who have been with me through most of this 3-year journey. Some of us, we called it back then, didn't we? People called us crazy. We knew what was coming. I wish I had done a better job up until now of shouting it from the rooftops. But, you know, I'm not perfect either, and not much scares me. I mean, when you face death and multiple times, there's not really much left to the imagination after that of things that can scare you in this world. That's my opinion anyways, my feeling about it. However, what terrifies me are the thoughts of, excuse me, somebody messing with my son's DNA or RNA or anything, a hair on his head, and mutating that in some way. Or my son losing his soul. Or my grandbabies not having a future at all because their consciousness is wiped and uploaded into an AI bot. Sometimes it's too much for just one, you know, homeless, faceless, penniless, voiceless, nothing like me. It's a lot to bear. So I'll leave it at that. I really hate crying. It actually makes me mad when I cry, so I try not to do that. Here's a last look at today's sky before the haze covers it all from the sprays. PM 2.5, chemtrails, particulate matter, barium, strontium, aluminum, lithium. What did I forget? Oh yeah, mercury. Can't forget that one. Yeah, the live stream's gonna cover some things that I need to talk about anyways, because they directly and indirectly affect me. Scary things in this world that are going on, but they need to be talked about nonetheless. And my absolute hatred for this country's government. We'll get into that. So I hope I'll see you there. And no offense to anybody who does not want to attend that live stream. It is going to be heavy. So heard it here first. And I don't blame you. I still love you. Alright guys, thank you to those of you who listen to me, and especially those of you who are there and have been true friends, true family. I love and appreciate every one of you, and even my new friends on here, and learning from everyone. It's what it's about. People don't always have to agree or get along or believe the same things, but we sure can just have conversations and learn from one another peacefully. I know I can, and I know quite a few of you out there now who can as well. So let's show them how it's done, how we rise above. Much love, everybody. Peace.